some more work on the old lathe parts, yeah. I basically just took old angle block, screwed the damn thing to it.
Came this
Bolted it
morning,
down.
and by the time me and Tyler went in there to look for him, he was gone.
You know, nothing super fancy going on here, I reckon you could say. Basically, we just had to take, I don't know, I probably took about 100,000 or so off the top of that part because the cross slide was touching it once it got, you know, once you retract the cross slide so far, it started touching that there.
It's gonna have to just be there because it ain't gonna work, right? So fuck it. It's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy.
And here we're just going to bolt the damn thing into the mill, just as you would expect, I would reckon. Put one and toe clamps on the back, and I put one in that back T-slot right up on the top of the ankle plate, and then I use that T-slot with that socket head cap screw. I basically just use that as a jack. So I roll that sucker up underneath there and then tighten it up. You know, that way when the tool's cutting across it, it's not wanting to push down on that end. Whatever works, I reckon, yeah. So that's the clamping for the top of the angle block. I was able to put it in there and get enough clearance for everything. You know, for the tool. You know, when I first made this, I'd only been machining, oh man, a month, 2 months. You know, it's a very short time. And I just kind of got a little willy-nilly with it, not realizing what it was, you know, what it really needed to do. But it's all good. It works. And then of course we're gonna have to indicate it in. You know, it don't need to be indicated in the X-axis because it's bolted to that angle block, and we want it to be 90 degrees to that back flange. Which is what we're going to get, but we want it to be, we do need it to be flat, I guess you could say. So we just run the indicator across it, and you know, always leave one bolt good and snug. It's another student. The the teacher's busy. A lot of guys are coming to ask me for help. Especially with manual machining, I got more experience than anyone else in the shop. I mean, CNC too, except for Jordan. And then Tyler's, coming up in third.
Daddy, oh yeah. Here's your fucking daddy, bitch.
Figured I'd leave the organic conversation and sounds in the background and then just do a voiceover, so it wasn't just some boring, continuous, some jackass turning a wrench the whole freaking time or just running the mill. But I know a lot of guys enjoyed the hearing and seeing and all that good stuff. But that student, him and there's two of them from South Korea. They don't speak very much English at all. And we had another guy in there, Peter. Only been in America a couple of years. Asian fella. Taught himself English. That dude's a freaking genius when it comes to manual machining. I respect the hell out of that guy. He overcame all his obstacles, right? And that's what it's all about. No one gives a crap. No one gives a crap what the problem is. You figure out you figure it out. And that's what Peter does. So right here I'm using my calculator.
High-speed steel. 4 flutes. 160 square feet.
So what I'm using there is the Android app. It's Machinist Calculator Pro 2. And it's I'm basically telling it that it's the material's 4140, half-inch end mill, 100,000 or 50,000 steps to cut. You put your step over all 4 flutes, high-speed steels, the full material, yada yada yada, and then it'll tell you your optimal RPM and feed rate and whatever. I mean, you can do it according to chip load if you want to run, which I do a lot of mine off of chip load because I was taught to shoot for about 3-4 thou per tube. It's harder to get the chip load on a manual machine because you don't have any way to really know, at least I don't. You're getting there is that little vibration off that jack that's underneath it. But you really don't have any way. I mean, I seen old Kilroy. He was over there saying he's running this, 5.3 foot a minute or something like that. And I'm not sure what he's using. I'd like to find out. That seems like a pretty nifty deal. I know on a CNC machine, that's usually what I'm looking is chip load. Because your RPM by itself doesn't mean crap. Your feed by itself, it doesn't mean crap. They gotta work. Those two gotta go hand in hand with each other. On the manual machine, you can usually look at the swirl, you know, if you're getting squirrels in your work, you're feeding too fast. You know, it's almost trying to multi-flute thread, I guess you could say. With radially. And here we're just back at the house. For some reason, my dumb ass puts this thing back together. Then I stone the bottom of it. Then I take the damn thing back apart because I don't want the damn grit in my, you know, trapped inside there. So I want to clean all the grit out. Why in the hell I put the thing together in the first place, I don't know. So again, we just, you know, since we've gotten all apart and we're doing all this freaking work to it, you know, we're just going to stone, you know, run a stone across everything. Make sure it's reasonably flat, you know. Stoning is really intended just to knock the burrs off of something. And, you know, it's not really possible, that at least not for me, to keep something nice and flat with a stone. You know, as you can see just right there, you know, you're not covering the whole surface at one time. I mean, if you take 5 more swipes in one area than another area, then you've taken 5 more swipes worth of material off of one side versus the other side, right? And I mean, I understand this concept completely. But then at the same time, you know, you got to work with what you got to work with, right? And I don't have a surface grinder. I don't have any of that. I'm certainly not going to throw it up on my ragged ass mill and run it across there and think that I just, you know, done it some type of a service above where it was already at, you know. But in this case, stoning it certainly ain't no worse for wear as opposed to this Chinese crap that you're getting when you get it, you know. Now, I should have just took the damn thing to school and surface ground it, but I graduate, you know, tomorrow. I mean, I'll still have a few days, you know, whatever I've paid for, I'm going to go for, so, because I graduate before the rest of the class, because I started this program in 2013 under a different teacher, and then that teacher quit. So I already had, you know, 400 hours logged before the rest of these dudes even showed up. So I'll graduate before all that. So there ain't really too many bad spots on here, though. It turned out decent. And on the carriage, there was a few spots I had to work out. And it wasn't too bad. I really need to get some more stone. There's some pitting in there. I'm just saying, as long as it's recessed, I'm not really worried about it. a little rickety gib right there. It's basically just flat. I don't understand why you use a flat gib on a. Well, I mean, I guess it does what it's supposed to do, I reckon, right? If the ways aren't tapered, I guess a flat gib ain't gonna matter one way or another. This is really not, this is quite the pain in the ass here. I should have the damn thing in a vise on some parallel, but my vise is in my mill and I'm not really stoning in the mill. You know, the bigger stuff I could have just put in my bench vise, but my camera happened to be hooked to it, right? So that's alright. We'll figure it out. I've done crap the hard way my whole life. Par for the course, buddy. Really want to do well with people's excuses. You know, oh, I want to relax. Oh, I want to watch TV when I get home. Well, you know what? That's why you don't. That's why you're not as far ahead in class or in wherever, because you're not putting in the hours that the next man's putting in. You know, and that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't wonder why. Don't wonder why the next man is outshining you, you know? That man is over there. You know, old Peter, the Asian fella I mentioned earlier, he was sitting over there for months on that CNC machine, man, and I just sat over there intimidated by it because I didn't know, you know. And the teacher was new. He didn't have his feet under him at the time yet. He's doing excellent now, but he didn't have his feet under him at the time, so I just kind of sat over there just being intimidated. And, you know, just wondering, man, why can't I learn like Peter, man? Why in the hell's Peter? And Peter's just killing it, you know? I ain't learning crap about no CNC. And the bottom line right there was Peter was killing it because Peter was doing it. I was sitting over there watching Peter do it, right? I mean, I was doing my manual stuff and helping other dudes on the manual stuff, and I was doing my solid work.
Why you beating your power wheel?
But I wasn't doing nothing, right? I was, you know, not CNC wise. I sat my ass down with that Haas manual. And every day I just walk over to that machine with that Haas manual and start pushing the buttons that was in that manual. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. Next thing you know, I was running it. Now I'm showing these other guys how to run it. You know, I don't touch tools off unless I have to anymore. Someone else needs to learn that.
Someone's got to do the hard work, buddy.
No, but I get it. It's intimidating. Approaching subjects that you don't know nothing about. Like CNC. Or for a lot of new guys just running manual machines. I mean, I'll go back there in the classroom and drag your ass out to the classroom. Hey, buddy, you need to get on the machine. You know, nobody gives a damn how much you read on tooling you. It don't mean crap to nobody. But you need to run something. You know, I'll help you. The teacher will help you. There's other students out there that know how to do stuff. Ask them. And it's pretty obvious who's hungry and who's hungry and who just wants to sit on their ass all day. You know, I quit hanging out. I quit going in the classroom. I started bringing my laptop and sitting out in the shop by myself, because every time you walk in that freaking classroom, it's just YouTube videos. Class starts at 7:40 in the morning. By 8 o'clock, YouTube videos, Facebook. Ain't nobody got time for that crap, man. You know, I wake my ass up at 5 o'clock in the morning for YouTube. And I get up at 5 in the morning just so I have time for my Facebook and YouTube videos. It's when I'm doing my schoolwork and writing my cutter paths and drawing on SolidWorks and bouncing back and forth.
Now this piece here sticks up. I don't know how you can see that. Sticks up just a bit higher than this. So I'm just trying to make sure this is flat, because this is what rests on here. Rests on this surface here. This just clamps down. This is the face. It's got to be flat. So I figure if I can keep it across two sides at one time, I won't be doing any disservice over the way it came. So, tearing it up, buddy. Don't get mad at your work. It ain't your work's fault. You done something. If you're just holding it on jack stands, you can't be yanking on it like that. You got to be a little more careful with it. That's why it keeps falling out them jack stands. Learn that lesson now when it's a power wheel. Gotta respect the load, buddy. Gotta respect the load. I don't know what you're over there talking about. The screw's too hard to put on. Well, you took all them screws out, so why are they too hard to put on now? If you can get them out, surely you can get them back in.
Yeah, I'm the same way with my son as I am with everybody else. I'm not a big excuses kind of guy. Reasons and excuses, not the same thing. There are legitimate reasons for things. But you know, if he can take screws out of something, he can screw the screw back into it. It's plastic. You feel me? It's not, I'm not gonna come screw them screws in for you, buddy. You're gonna have to figure this out all by yourself. And he did. He took that power wheel apart over a year ago. You know, because he don't drive it anymore. We got him a dune buggy when he turned 4, like a go-kart dune buggy with a little suspension and whatnot. And he took that power wheel apart over a year ago, completely apart. Every wheel, axle, everything. And then last weekend he put it all back together. This is that "do you want a free meal" phone call.
What's up, buddy? I'm working on this fucking leg. Throw away a bridge for it. I'm just trying to think how I could lift that column onto my shit. Oh fuck, if you can put it on, hell yeah, I'll take it.
Free slot head and a free right ankle head for something or another, and some indexing thing. You say hell yes, especially when he says we can load it with the forklift, don't worry about it. I'm on it, buddy. I'm on it. See, that's that good Chinese work right there. First thread I ever cut in my life didn't look that bad. Well, first thread I cut in my life worked. Didn't even need to file it. I even picked the damn thing back up the next day, just for the experience of picking up a thread. Then it was already done. It's freaking crap here. I don't even know how you could even hand that off to somebody without feeling bad about it. I mean, you can do that kind of work for your personal projects, right? I mean, that's fine. Yeah, if it works, it works. And it's your stuff. I'm not going to hate on you for it. But man, you can't hand a customer no crap like that. You can't pull a part off a line and say, hey man, I'm proud of this. Look at this great job I did on this bullshit. You know, I'd fire somebody for that in a second. You're fired, dude. Just for putting this in the bin. Just for thinking that's okay, you're fired, dude. You clearly ain't smart enough to work with me. You know, you gotta have a certain amount of pride in what you're doing when you're dealing with somebody else's stuff. I mean, you cut all the corners in the world with your own stuff. You know, that's fine. You know, I had a blower. I was cutting because I have a landscape company. I was maintaining a Walmart, and the throttle cable broke on the damn thing at the Walmart. Now it was gonna take me an hour to go get a throttle cable, and another 45 minutes. You know, I'd be 2 hours down. You know, I'd be 2 hours down. Time I got that throttle cable done. So what did I do? I found a piece of wire, and I took the shoestring out, and that's how we ran it.
No, buddy. You got your motorcycle? You're supposed to take it out front. You gotta take it out front, yeah? So we gotta take it out front, yeah? Okay, we're taking just a second, hold on.
But we fixed it with that damn shoestring and that wire right then and there, and got back to work. And it lasted, man, that thing lasted 6 months before we had to change that out. And I would never, if I was a mechanic working on someone's equipment, you would never give somebody something like that.